Hi Cancer, if you want to come on in, see your ink blot made in your name and essence, feel free to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes or symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. All right, Cancers, I'm going to dig in here and empathically explore your abstract aura. Thank you for holding space for me to share my insights. Let's go. I'm seeing genie in a bottle. Like they're coming out, and there's someone with perhaps a spirit around you, or Cancers could be an incarnate or somebody in spirit that has a bigger nose. I'm getting the sense that whatever the relationship is or was, but still is, even if it's in spirit, they're very playful with you, and perhaps somebody when you were a child, they were an elder. Even if it wasn't known in this lifetime, I feel like you have a spirit guide that is an elder and could be of indigenous ancestry. Even if it doesn't resonate for this lifetime specifically, it feels as though just somewhere in your past lives, and they've become there's an agreement to help guide and some sort of indigenous understanding. But they're very playful. Like, they quite enjoy watching you, and they watch you closely, and that's what's giving me like the feel that they are a spirit guide, Cancers. And if it's somebody incarnate, it's like they work through that person, and something about the nose could be just a symbol that they are an aspect of their energy, of their guidance is working through that person, if that makes sense to you. There's something about a warrior feel as well, and I don't know if it's okay, so like from the indigenous space of it all, that's where I'm feeling it. And then there's this ponytail, but this ponytail has like I don't know if it's like aquatic, but it's bringing me into like Avatar or even like Alien. Like there's something that around their head that's long. Maybe it's just long hair, but like tentacles tied into a higher understanding. In Cancers, I'm seeing the ear space as Easter, kind of like an Easter island. Again, it's very old. So Cancers, I don't know if this is where you're doing past life regressions or connecting with your guides, and they're trying to give you clues to deepen your connection or some sort of history. I just heard the word lost civilization, so maybe it's like Atlantis or Mu, and these are clues. Like, these cultures hold clues individually, they hold clues for the collective lost history. But there's also something about hearing. Oh, so I'm seeing the Moai from Easter Island, but with a mohawk. Again, it's very indigenous oriented. So there's something about like natural understanding, natural laws is coming through. It's almost like I can see something levitating, Cancers, if you're working on mind focus, and whatever that may be, personal, professional, romantic, platonic, this, that, or the other. But in your aura, there's this feeling of like, I'm listening intently to other understandings, even within myself, as they come up, perhaps in connection to this guide that is around. Yeah, there's something about a piece of land. Something about a piece of land, Cancers. I don't know. Maybe there's a space in your current Rolodex of memories and memoirs that there's a part of your history that you know here and now that you look upon fondly, and it's something about a land. So maybe it's just a different town or a different home, but something about the land. This I don't know if this land like shot off somewhere, or it's giving me that Atlantis, Mu, Lemuria kind of vibes. And forgive me that I don't know any other necessarily cultural renditions of it, but I'm sure throughout each cultures there's different ideas of different civilizations, even like the Mayans, and something about Alaska is coming through as well, or like Greenland, Iceland, something along that lines, like some sort of history isn't known. And I don't know why this is coming up in your reading. So I'm assuming, Cancers, you're looking at a landscape for your life and you're being guided to do that. And it's almost like I can see all the people around me and they all hold clues, because some sort of aspect of my guides or my big family, when I say big, I mean like connections, they're an aspect of them is within these people. And so like maybe there's a relative or a friend that lives in a particular place, and you might be going there, or when you visit, you'll be like, wow, this feels like home. And it almost like it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense logically, but it completely makes sense. I'm drawing down into the bottom here. It feels like in the heart space of deepening where your heart resides, the heart of your home. I don't know, Cancers, if you're changing homes, again, with that landscape feel, or making your own history, and you're being guided to be like, I was brought up here and I like it here, but I'd like to create history for like your children, or when people reflect upon your story, or you tell your story of, how you made it. Or just simply you're looking for different experiences, and it's, maybe you're good. There might be a little bit of a stagnant feel where you are. So you're like, where can I go to have experiences? But it won't be willy-nilly if you're deciding to travel, move jobs, change relationships. Like the channel is yours, of course. But it's something like deepening the heart of roots. I'm also seeing like a forest. This could be in like the REM state of sleeping. Like when you sleep deeply. Or perhaps you're not sleeping deeply, but it's asking you to maybe add something in, Cancers, that gets you into a deeper sleep or a meditative state, this, that, or the other, to heed and like awaken this guide to step forward to you. I'm seeing like a rice cooker. I think it's a rice cooker. I don't know if that symbol means anything to anyone, but a rice cooker. So maybe the Asian part of the world, in the Asias, Tibet just like came flying in. And I'm seeing a dog with its nose, like, I think it's a dog. I don't think that's the point. The point is that there's, could even be like something that burrows underground. Like it's not a mouse. Maybe it's a groundhog. You know what? I'm believing it's a groundhog. So maybe you can resonate that if there's a stagnant feeling, like Groundhog Days going over and over and over again. But I can't help but feel that there's things happening, like maybe looking things up, or there's a friend somewhere, this, that, or the other. There's just little sparks of inspiration that are burrowing you to consider new lands. Now, I don't know if they're tangible in physical travel and movement to your home placement, or to astral and the REM state. But I'm sure they're reflective as you're kind of working things out, because you're getting lots of things up in the higher self and the hearing. Somebody just really adores watching you play. I'm seeing Archie from Archie in the comics. Yeah, that's Archie from Archie in the comics. Cancers, that's cute. I think that might be a hamster as well, if the groundhog or hamster, like one of the two. And this Archie in the comics, is it Betty and Veronica? So like there's choices. That's just what's making me feel choices. Maybe it's choices in love or choices of love of where you are. But it's not, it's got a little bit of a groundhog feel. And you're like, okay, well, I don't want to, be stuck here. But because I love it. But it's like there's this other choice. Am I willing to go to a little bit of the unknown and have new experiences? Hold on, I need my scribe though. Excuse me. Like, share, subscribe. Links below to help a cow grow. And if you're interested in a personal Rorschach and a reading, the link is also below. That's a little piggy. That little piggy is standing out in like way down here. Well, I'm in this like landscape that kind of makes me feel as though, okay, for one, how I feel like seeing the movie Cape Fear, right? Yeah, it's Cape Fear. But I'm seeing a forest reflected in water. I don't know if somebody really enjoys camping or going up in the forest. I'm going to flip it to one, like go over here now. I'm going to do it. Okay. Oh, this gives me that Tibet feeling again. Even if it's just like camping in general or being amongst nature, right? That those natural laws are coming through again, natural laws. And it's like as I'm deciding to maneuver through the forest. You know that saying, like, you can't see the forest through the trees? I feel like Cancers, you're in the forest. And you're looking at individual trees. And you meet these creatures along the way. They're wise. And at the almost at the top, there's like a Sherlock Holmes. Maybe the pig symbology means something to someone. If that stands out to you, maybe, take a boo to see what resonates. But there are two different kinds specifically. Even though there's all these little different ones, there's two prominent ones that stand out. And one is more playful. And then the one closer to the top is like a Sherlock Holmes. It's almost like you'll get another clue. And then I'm seeing the side of this mountain forest thing open up. And as you've been climbing up and I feel like you're already have been on the ground of the groundwork of what you want to be doing, or you're doing it for this new year coming up. You're doing your groundwork. In many regards, like I'm not sure how to say that. Like research, you're looking at inspiration, synchronicities, how you're feeling, what you're thinking about when you're feeling things. So like there's all this groundwork, and then maybe you start to climb up, get these clues from these different creatures, and then the actual inside of the mountain opens up. And I just heard, can't go over it, can't go under it, might as well go through it. Yeah, and that Sherlock Holmes hog kind of pig thing. And you talk to him. You talk to him when you get there, because he gives you another clue, but in like a riddle. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to move on down here. I'm seeing a Scottish dog. Is that a Scottish dog? Maybe it's a Yorkie, I think. So Scotland, there might be a trip to Scotland, or somebody in your ancestry again of Scottish descent. I feel like they might have been visited by, either they had a gift to communicate with spirits. This is part of your lineage. and or angels kind of alien feel, like they had visitations, but I'm not sure if it was known. I'm not sure if they spoke about it. I'm going to bring out the mirror and get this interdimensional ink blot on the go here. Remember when I was talking about like Alaska or something? Greenland? Finland just came through. I don't even know if those are in the same areas, but it's fine. I'm listening. I don't need to make sense of it. Something in and around that area as well. Alaska. There's like another indigenous woman. And I'm seeing a plug, like a socket, plug something in. I feel like when you get to a particular land, I don't know if there's some cancers that are like doing a lot of traveling. And this could even just be on the internet, like looking at different places. It's like I can see myself scrolling through going, okay, well, what's their, population? What's their crime rate? What's their school systems like? I don't know, like all that kind of stuff. But I'm traveling, even like as I plug in to the internet, and I'm like, oh, let's visit there. Or maybe like you're Google mapping things and you're going in and seeing different landscapes. Like it doesn't have to be tangible travel, because there'll just be clues even there. If that's the way you're traveling, the clues will be placed. And then maybe you'll meet somebody, be like, oh, I'm originally from Alaska or from Finland or from the Asias. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all over the world, Cancer. It's like very all over the world. What else do we have going on here? Something about tying the hair back. I don't know if this is like a getting to work thing. Sorry, I'm going to put that down now. And I'm going to add on some tarot and oracle for the Cancer Collective. Thank you. I'm going to keep on going. So I'm also seeing if somebody's going camping or along that lines. Kind of makes me feel like I'm up north, at least here in Canada. And there's a big pond or almost like an island, but it's not an island. But I guess it could be. Who am I? But it's almost like the geography of this space is that there's a big pond or something in the middle, or a water feature that all of these, I guess, camping spots or homes have, like they all focus in on this one water thing. Abracadabra is coming through. Yeah, and it's like, well, which... Okay, so abracadabra. See how there's all those stars up there? Sorry, I thought I just saw something. And secrets. These are those clues. So as like you're looking at the star map, but I'm seeing the star map reflected down in this whole geography of the world. Again, whether or not you're actually traveling there in the tangible realm or investigating through the internet. And it's like you might pick some few places. You're like, oh, here, 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 and here. That, out of the whole like worldly map, the planetary map you're interested in. So you do more digging. Like I said, you go in and do your thing. And those clues are given like secrets. Like you're following your intuition. And then I can see as you've like picked these points, if you drew lines through them, it would make a constellation. And then it brings me back to like the genie or the guide, that you're following an intuition, Cancers. I don't know if that's a Teletubby or a... It's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. For the Cancer Collective, on a journey, treasured memories. Yeah, it's almost like as you're visiting these places, and you continue, like if they spark and you continue down, not only of the journey, but like treasured memories come forward of this whole deep guidance of different histories, and you might just resonate with something. Like I'm suddenly feeling like, again, there's no logical reason I would have an affinity for this or something, but Cancers, that's what it feels like. And I'm suddenly asking myself the question of like, well, how does this pertain to my here and now? But again, personally, as me sitting here, that's never really my concern of trying to tie it in from this point of view to say January or the year coming. But I feel like it's the journey to explore as it reveals and gives you these clues, or even just excites you. Because Cancers, I don't know if there's something, you're just looking for a little excitement perhaps. The Emperor, closing out messages here for the Cancer energy. Okay, that was one way to do it. So we have the Emperor, Ace of Cups, and Death. See if that'll come through the camera. Well, kind of. Okay. So that Scorpio kind of death feel, but this feels like a beautiful, like even in moving, right? If you are looking at moving, Cancers, like there's a grieving kind of process. Even if you're like, oh, good, I got to get the hell out of here, or this job or this relationship. It feels as though once it's had, there is this wonderful release, Ace of Cups, that comes through. And it's like, I can see like playing with that space that's made. Something about transformation. Like to have the Death and the Ace of Cups right there, some sort of transformation, whether it's in the environment or an energy in your environment, an entity, people, places, or things, jobs, relationships, this, that, or the other. And I want to note that this Emperor, see how, maybe it'll come through. Okay, all these things down here. Well, this is actually like the black and white, like kind of like checkered board. That's how I'm seeing, excuse me, like the world again. You're putting all these pins and there's strings here. And you'll tie things together to get these clues and these secrets exposed. But they're good because you're being gently guided by your guides. And someone in spirit who is overly, overly fond of you. Overly, overly fond of you. All right, Cancers. Do we want to leave that there? We'll add on one more card for the Cancer energy to close out. Strength and protection. This is that guide that's coming through. This is how I'm sensing it. This is your guide. Very lit up, very sacral, creative energy, gets you moving forward, sparks an idea. Like that's how it feels, like you're being guided. And it's, it's like your guide glows. Something will glow and it will have this like reverb about it. And they want you to know, like, I'm there, and you'll be protected if you continue to travel, again, in person or on the internet. But this is you. You're the bag of bones that has the strength to move through this, to move through potentially anything that feels stagnant, to explore, to have this feeling, to be like, oh, I remember this. And then to continue on the journey. But it's very gentle. This isn't stark. This doesn't feel, feels like camping. Feels like I'm camping. And I have everything I need in a different way than, say, if I was at home. And that's okay. Like it's enough so that there's flexibility and movement. Something along that lines. All right, Cancers, I'm going to let you go. I hope that resonated. Please like, share, subscribe if this resonated or at least cured some curiosity. Thank you for exploring with me. It has been my honor. And thank you very much for being my muse.